Now, the Rivers State government has denied reports that Governor Siminalayi Fubara has been formally served with an impeachment notice by the State House of Assembly. The governor's special advisor, Darlington Orji, said Fubara has not received any official communication regarding impeachment, adding that he only became aware of the move through media reports. Orji explained that the House had earlier announced it will proceed on recess and reconvene around January 28, 2026, but later held an emergency sitting outside the agreed schedule. He noted that the governor was not in the state at the time of the sitting, dismissing claims that Fubara deliberately avoided the assembly or fled to evade impeachment. According to him, the governor has nothing to hide and is not afraid of any lawful process, insisting that reports of an impeachment notice being served are inaccurate. Still in Rivers State, a Rivers State High Court in Oyibo, Port Harcourt on Friday issued an interim injunction stopping the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Martin Amiewole, and two others, including the clerk, from sending any correspondence to the state chief judge regarding impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu. The court also barred Chief Judge Justice Simeon Amadi from receiving, considering or acting on any impeachment request, resolution or related document from the defendants for 7 days. Presiding Judge Justice F.A. Fibirisima granted leave for the claimants to serve the interim order and related court documents at the gate of the Assembly quarters and on the Chief Judge through judicial staff. The case was adjourned to January 23, 2026 for further hearing. Now, despite the court order, the Assembly resolved to continue impeachment proceedings on Friday. The political atmosphere in Rivers State remains tense as the much-publicized peace deal between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and Governor Siminalayi Fubara shows signs of strain, while stakeholders continue to urge restraints. Fresh allegations suggest external political interest may be worsening the crisis. Trust TV's report examines the growing cracks in the accord and the wider national implications.
The cracks in Rivers State peace accord are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Despite public display of reconciliation, political watchers say the truce between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, remains fragile. Security expert Jackson Lekonju described the situation as a familiar pattern in Rivers politics, one rooted in a circle of loyalty and betrayal that continues to resurface.
When you look at it, study it from the period of other judge. At the end of the day, Odili took over power. You understand? He fought other judge. And at the end of the day, Rotimi Amechi took over power. Because of the kill-leg frame of Obasanjo that time, Rotimi Amechi was not in good time with Odili. And Odili took over at the end of the day. Nyesom Wike took over power after Rotimi Amechi. He was not in good time with Rotimi Amechi. And eventually, Siminalayi Fubara took over after 8 years from Nyesom Wike. What happened? They are not in good time up till the date.
Amid rumors that Governor Fubara is being remotely controlled by political forces in Abuja, Lekonju dismissed such claims, insisting the governor remains firmly in charge of his administration. On the streets of Port Harcourt, residents say they are closely observing recent political developments and alignments within the state.
I think Siminalayi Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, has done the right thing because PDP was already a sinking boat. And there is nobody that wants to remain in a sinking boat. If you still want to continue with your journey, then definitely you have to jump out of the boat.
The camp of the governor to APC, I am highly disappointed, and in fact it reminds those who are interested in voting that they should no longer keep put their trust in the person they are following. They cannot disappoint them anytime.
It's a game of interest. You understand? So I hear people they talk say this and that, this and that. The defension, maybe the man they want to defend the favor.
However, the security expert reserved his strongest criticism for the presidency, accusing the federal government of deploying what he describes as divide and rule tactics to maintain political leverage over Rivers State.
With due respect, I see President Tinubu that is applying the principle of divide and rule. This is divide and rule tactics. Mr. President today is good with Fubara, the governor of Rivers State. Mr. President today is good with his appointee, the minister of the Federal Capital Territory. So at the end of the day, Fubara is working towards the victory of Mr. President's second tenure. Wike is working towards the victory of Mr. President. At the end of the day, either Fubara or Wike, one will be the loser.
Beyond Rivers State, Lekojo also raised concern over the controversial national tax bill. He describes alleged irregularities in the legislative process as criminal, warning that such action undermines the rule of law and could provoke widespread public backlash.
Dasuki, when he raised it on the floor of the House of Representatives, that what they passed as bill was not what was gazetted. So to me, that is a criminal act, and I think if the rule of law must prevail, if democratic tenet must be followed, immediately that thing is raised at the capacity of the House of Representatives, and it was not shut down. I think there's supposed to be an adjustment. But for Mr. President to still continue that is exactly what is going to happen. That is to say, what we are practicing today in Nigeria is an autocratic system.
As Rivers State grumbles with its internal political battles, analysts warn the crisis is now intertwined with broader national concerns over governance, economic hardship, and democratic accountability. For residents, the fear remains that political brinkmanship could once again threaten peace and stability in the state.